What up? What it is? What's poppin'? It's the neighborhood nice guy, K Dot, and welcome to another episode of Keeping It 9450, codename WBB. I am here again with my illustrious host, the main one, Lolo, aka Lolivia Pope, aka Loza Parks, aka Martin Luther King, aka I just lit up All-Star. Low bike. What is going on, my sister?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm black and blessed, man. I'm black and blessed. It's been a long weekend. As you can see, my eyes are kind of low. I'm extremely tired. Running off of 3 hours of sleep, but we are here. And I promised y'all I would be here today. As much as I wanted to cancel, but I promised y'all I would be here today. So I'm here. I'm a woman of my word.
Hey,
Period. Michelle,
listen,
don't throwing the unrivaled shirt in our face. You see it.
yeah, listen. I wanna before we do all of our sponsors and all of that business. Listen, I want to say, like, how ecstatic and how like proud I am to again call you a business partner and call you a host. And I know we're supposed to do like other business. DA is out on business right now, so more power to him. Hopefully he's okay. But this is like this is literally Lolo's moment because we look back at this weekend and we saw the excellence, and not only excellence, but the black excellence that you've always carried for yourself and for others, and for you to represent. And shout out to Corey as well, for you both to represent, the 9450 in the way that you guys did is nothing more than amazing. And I'm just incredibly happy that on that infamous day where DA was like, "Hey, what do you think about having having Lolo join the crew?" I was like, "No question. Like, what do we? Why are you even asking me at this point?" Like, I was thinking you was just gonna tell me, "Yo, we added Lolo," but like we really appreciate what you did this weekend. We appreciate what Corey added to the table as well. And again, we're gonna talk hoops, but I had to shout my girl out, man. Like this is nothing to kind of like be quiet about. Like we can't be quiet about this. Like, and for those again, like y'all can't even, oh my God, like relax. Y'all can't even like be chill for a couple pictures, like chill, like relax.
Listen, lesson learned. I'll
You
start
know what I'm
keeping for
saying? Like,
Instagram.
Jesus Christ, like, dang, you can just tell the people who just ain't got it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like relax.
yeah. Stay out of my
Like,
DMs, right?
like,
For sure.
like, brother, what's
Yeah,
that?
I didn't. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I really did not expect it to get as much traction as it did. But shout out to my parents. That's all I got to say. you know.
Yeah, so before we really get into it, listen, y'all make sure y'all scan the code and holla at us with SeatGeek. Use the code the 9450 for all of your live events needs. So again, scan it right here, SeatGeek, and use the code the 9450, and get $20 off of any of your purchases for live events. And also, Welsh Mode Coffee. Experience the unique journey of Welsh Mode Coffee. Each cup offers a taste of adventure crafted by our diversely led team committed to inclusivity and premium flavors. Join us for a delightful ride through life's moments, celebrating, exploring, and moving with the boldest brews around. Hashtag Go Welsh Mode. www.welshmodecoffee.com. So, again, listen, first things first, I want to shout out the Text Winners Comments Lounge. Y'all here, y'all live and in full effect. What's up, Dayshell? What's up, Darius? What's up, Felicia? What's up, Big Baby Sports? We here, and we're talking WNBA All-Star Weekend recap. And we're also going to talk about the Marina Mabrey trade along with our midseason awards. But before we get into the latter part of that discussion, let's talk about All-Star. So, the WNBA All-Star weekend has concluded. We had an incredible weekend on Friday and Saturday when we showcased the skills challenge and three-point shootout, as well as a 3x3 exhibition game between the Team USA and USA Select team. And that was actually really, really interesting. To be honest with you, that 3x3 was real, real dope.
Mm-hmm.
But so Lauren, like, give us a vivid picture of your experience with All Star, starting with when you landed to when you came back, because you did say you just like you're running off of 3 hours of sleep. We
Mm-hmm.
know what was going on with the whole like update situation and like everybody being affected by it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that your effect was more so coming home as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to getting there. So go ahead and holla at us. What happened this weekend? Because I had super FOMO.
Yes. So this weekend was easily one of the best weekends of my entire life. And I have, not even to brag, but I've accomplished a lot in 34 years. I was 22 and had, my bachelor's and master's degree. I was 24 and bought my first house. So like I've accomplished a lot in my lifetime. But this weekend it was like incredibly special. I was explaining to someone that it almost feels like when you're blind your entire life and you finally get prescription glasses and you can finally see. So it's like I felt like I was right where I needed to be. I felt like I was right where I belong. And it just gave me like a new motivation and a new sense of um eagerness to just push this podcast forward and just continue to move the game forward. I met some incredible people. I finally met some people off of Twitter. Shout out to everybody that I met this weekend. And it was just like a great experience. It was just so much love, like just throughout the whole weekend. I'll get into more detail, but so I landed Thursday, and I just want to say shout out to Phoenix. Like shout out to Phoenix in general, the city. Like they really showed out for All Star. Like as soon as you landed, like the airport had all this like propaganda and just like a different they had people like tour guides kind of telling you what you can do in Phoenix and all the events that are happening during the weekend. They just like they had so many decorations, like they just literally did what they needed to do. Like they got you ready for All-Star right when you landed, right? So you're already in that mood. um Thursday night I went to Christina Williams. I went to her I don't know the actual name of it, but it was like a mixer dinner type of thing at STK. And she honored Cheryl Swoop. So I was rubbing elbows with Cheryl Swoop. I was about to pass out. I was like, this is someone that I literally idolized as an 8-year-old. And we're over here having casual conversation. Like, that's my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope. It was a lot of just like love in the room. And it was a room full of, I would say, mainly Black women. Miles was there, and so some other people was there, but it was a room full of mainly Black women. And just to see like the genuine love and just to see everyone kind of motivating everybody to keep pushing forward. And the overall like consensus in that dinner was that like we're all here for a reason, and we all have a common goal in pushing the game forward, and that's kind of what we're all doing. So it's just nice to talk to people from different walks of life. Like we had people that were photographers there. We had people that did worked for ESPN. We had people that did the financial side of the WNBA. So it was just so many people from different walks of life with the same goal in mind. I also met this guy who's a trainer for some of the players there. So some of the players that are in the WNBA. So it was just a great networking opportunity. It was great just to be in the room with these people, because even though I've been watching the game since 1997, since I was a 7-year-old little girl, this is really my first, I'm going into my second year of covering it. Like I've only been doing podcasting for a year and some change. So for me to be in these kind of rooms with these powerful women was very encouraging, and it just shows me that I'm doing something right, and I just need to continue to push forward. So that was Thursday night, and then everyone wanted to go out, but sis, me was tired, because like my flight was at 6 a.m. this time, Eastern time, and so which means I had to leave to go to the airport around 4 a.m. So yeah, I got no sleep on the plane. I didn't get any sleep. So I slept that night. Friday, what happened? Friday was Cheryl's swoops. It was called the swoop soiree. So every All-Star, she's starting a trend or a event where she has a brunch to celebrate the legends, right? Anyone that has played in the WNBA. So from her standpoint, she says that people always remember the popular names like, Coop or Cheryl or Lisa Leslie, or, the names that we always hear of, right? But she wants to draw light on the women that also put in work, also helped to push the game forward, but didn't necessarily or don't necessarily get the love that they deserve. So there's a lot of people there. It was sponsored by AU and Recnick, which is like they're affiliated with cancer research and stuff. So they were giving out free mammograms there, which is great. Cheryl was talking about how some of the women that she knows that played in the WNBA previously never had health insurance, because as we talked about in the CBA, episode that we did, some of the bare minimum like necessities that humans should have, like health insurance, the WNBA wasn't providing that for them after they retired. So she was like just urging people like, hey, if you're one of those people in that position, use this opportunity to go get a mammogram, all of that. Shout out to Cheryl too. She was giving like great gift bags. Christina also gave great gift bags. They were giving out wigs. Like it was incredible. Like literally like great gift bags. Cheryl's also giving out bottles of Douce. Like it was just a great event. Everybody there, it was just love. I got to meet her co-host Jordan from her podcast. I got to finally meet LaChina in person. And it's funny because I met so many people, and when I went to them, I would say, hey, my name is Lauren. And they will all look at me like, basically like, who the hell are you? And I would be like, Lolivia Pope on Twitter. And they're like, oh, what's up? Like they literally knew who Lolivia was. So it's interesting. I also found out that the podcast is bigger than I actually thought it was, because when I told people that I was representing the 9450, they'd be like, oh, we heard of that before. So the very, very few people that haven't heard about it, I made sure that they subscribed right in front of me just to make sure that you do know now. But met some incredible, again, mostly women there, from all walks of life. LaChina was there. Who else was there? Sydney Colson was there. Of course, Cindy Brunson. And just before I go on, man, shout out to Cindy Brunson, man. If y'all don't know, Cindy Brunson worked for SportsCenter on ESPN for years before she started doing the play-by-play for the Phoenix Mercury. And we literally were just talking about real life stuff. Like we were literally like, she knows my whole life. Now I know her whole life. Like she's just someone that is a great soul. And, she doesn't know me from a can of paint. We know each other through Twitter, and we know each other through DA and K Dot. You guys having a long-standing relationship with her longer than I have. And she was just dope. Like she just made you feel comfortable. She made sure, like she asked me straight up when I first came in there, she said, what are you trying to achieve this weekend? I'm going to help you reach that goal. Like, what are you trying to achieve long-term, like in your life? I'm going to help you, help you reach that goal. So just someone who actually is pouring into you when she's already at a high level of success, and, just taking the time out to have open and honest conversations with me, and just telling me that like, I'm doing it the right way, and I'm heading down the right path and stuff like that was just very encouraging. And like, she wasn't playing, like she was introducing me to everybody, and I love her for that. And so I also got to hear a little bit about her story, which was encouraging for me. She was saying that basically, the Phoenix Mercury passed up on her for 7 years, saying that she wasn't qualified, even though she had, 14 years on SportsCenter. And it's like, you have these men on here that can't even pronounce the women's names properly. But Cindy, who literally is one of the best to ever do it, like, come on now. So she said because of COVID, that's actually when she was able to get the job with him. And I didn't realize that. I thought she had been on the broadcast a little bit longer than that. So that was Friday. Then also Friday, I did something else. Oh, I went to the Unrivaled event first thing in the morning. That was cool. I introduced myself to Alex, Nafisa's husband, and just kind of told him about the podcast and how we want access to Unrivaled when it happens. But it was just a great experience because they were just kind of going over the unknown things that we really didn't know yet. So like I said, I tweeted about it. The women are supposed to make the top paid women in the league, or the contracts are supposed to be $350,000, which will be the highest paid women's professional league in the world. I mean, in the country. So yeah, it was some very exciting things. Fee and Stewie were there. It was early in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, but everyone was there. Got to network as well. So those were the two events I did that day. I did one more thing, but I literally can't remember. But honestly, I was busy the whole weekend, like literally the whole weekend. Before I hand it back over to you, K, so we can actually go into the game and stuff. Funniest thing happened for the people that don't follow me on Twitter, but at the actual All-Star game, I was with Corey, who also works for the 9450. My first time meeting him as well. Shout out to Corey. So they said that at the they were saying that media gets a gift between 3 and 4. So me and Corey were trying to find the area in which we go to receive the gift. And so if anyone's been to any WNBA media things, it's very unorganized. They don't tell you where to go. They don't tell you anything. So you're kind of just walking around trying to figure things out, right? So I'm asking people, hey, where are we supposed to get this media gift? No one has any clue, right? So finally Corey sees a room and he's like, I think this is it, because he saw some gift bags in there.
Wait. Time out.
What?
This is the story that everybody was waiting for. Continue.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So Corey is like, I think it's this room. And I look at the room. I'm like, I really don't think it's this room, Corey. The room is small. Like, I was like, all the media that's here, like, this room is too small, man. And he's like, no, but look, like, it's gift bags, it's food. And I'm like, all right, man. Because we had been walking around so long, we couldn't find it, right? And so I'm like, all right, man, forget it. So we go in there and Corey hype. He like, man, we got the last 2 bags. It's only 2 left. I'm like, dang, we came at the right time. I'm going through the bag. I'm taking stuff out. I'm putting it in my personal bag. I'm like looking at these gifts. I'm like, damn, these gifts are trash. Like, it's a bobble. I don't want a bobblehead. But anyway, I was like, I'm going to just take it anyway, right? Black people, we always going to take something free. So I'm taking it anyway, right? I'm just dumping shit in my bag. So then I look at the food. I literally take the tops off of the food. And it's like uncultured cooking, you can tell. I'm trying to say it a nice way, but it was like some salmon that looked not seasoned or really cooked. It was like a piece of beef that didn't look. I mean, I'm literally picking them up and looking at each plate. I done grabbed the plate, y'all, because I was like, I guess I'll just eat the salmon. I mean, so a lady comes in there that works like in the a lady comes in there that works at the arena, and she's like, what are you guys doing in here? And we were like, oh, we're just getting the gift stuff, like, And she was like, this is the commissioner's personal room. And I was like, okay. So I started taking the stuff out of my bag. I'm like this. I started taking the stuff out of my bag, right? And I'm like, and Corey, y'all don't know Corey, but he's very like, you can tell that he follows the rules. He's very like, he's a stand-up guy. He gonna follow the rules. So he's just looking shook. Like when they came in there, he was like, me, I'm calm, cool, and collect. I like awkward situations, so I didn't care. I was just like, oh, my bad. Like we didn't know, we were just wrong place, wrong time. We didn't know it wasn't the right room. So literally, no lie, as I'm taking the stuff out of my bag, Adam Silver walks in. I'm like, mind you, I'm literally taking his stuff that they gifted him out of my bag. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, commish? Because now I have to play it off, right? If I look awkward, it's going to make everything look awkward.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So the girl, mind you, the girl that worked there, pissed. Oh I mean, face turning, she's black, but face was turning red, pissed, right?
Oh my God.
So Adam was cool. He was like, oh, hey. And I said, listen, commissioner, I'm very sorry. We came to the wrong room, but we're going to leave out now. And so he was like, "Oh no, no problem." Like his family came too. Like, so a bit awkward situation, but I thought it was the funniest part of the weekend, to be honest. Corey was mortified. Like he was like, "You think we're gonna get kicked out?" I'm like, "They gonna kick us out for a mistake? Like everyone makes mistakes. Like they're not kicking us out." But listen, the worst part about it is Corey bought all this equipment with him, y'all. He had a whole suitcase of equipment. He was so shook of us getting kicked out the room that he left the damn suitcase in the room. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all. He's like,
I
Lauren, I left
wasn't
this.
ready.
He like, Lauren, I left
I
this
wasn't
suitcase.
ready.
I was like, Corey, no, you didn't. So he was acting kind of like nervous to go back by himself. I'm like, all you gotta do is knock on the door and ask him for it. I mean, it's a mistake. Like we left. I mean, And he was looking nervous. So I was like, all right, well, let me just do it. So I knock on the door. The black girl that worked there, she opened it and she's pissed again, looking at us like, why the hell y'all back? Like that's literally what her face looked like. And I was like, sorry to interrupt again, but he left his suitcase here, and so she got it, and then we left. But it was quite the experience. Actually, it might have been one of my favorite parts of the whole weekend because if y'all would have saw Corey's face, and if y'all would have saw how pissed the lady was, and if y'all would have saw how calm, cool, and collected I was, like I literally had this man salmon. I was literally about to eat this man salmon, like this man, as in this multimillionaire commissioner, like. He was very nice though. He was like, "Hey, how are you?" So yeah, that's my story with that.
So let's take a brief intermission because the Corey part I didn't know.
Yes, he done left his suitcase, and then I don't know the proper name of it, but it starts with a G, I believe. It's something like that he uses to record. I guess hold it to like record stuff. He left that in there too, so had to go back down there.
Oh God.
TC said Adam better subscribe. Exactly. I should have told him to subscribe. Hell, I was already about to eat the man food.
Adam Silver.
The Adam Silver.
If you ever come across this, on behalf of the 9450, our bad.
Right. Like,
my fault.
It is what it is.
But that is, first off, not only is hilarious, but it's the most genuine, most beautiful story I've ever heard from a mistake.
And it is funny because when Corey went back the third time, it was a security guard like sitting in front of the door. I was like, I guess they don't want nobody to come in.
Oh my God. Yo, when I saw it, first off, I don't know where I saw it first. I think I saw it on Twitter first.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you explained it to us, in the group chat. But I was like, oh snap. My first initial reaction was that was dope. Like you met Adam Silver and you was like, hey, Kamish. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I value, right? I value all of the moments, whether it be mistakes, whether it be awkwardness, it doesn't matter. I value all of those type of moments. And I just feel like that was such a dope moment for you.
It was.
And Darius, yes. I can't hold myself together because she didn't talk about the last part of that story. the back of my head is like extremely hurting and my stomach is hurting from that part. Like,
yeah, like if y'all would have saw the suitcase he had, I was like, what are you moving in here? Like, how did you? I couldn't believe when he was like, you should. I just wish I would have saw his face like when he realized that he left it in there. He was just like, I left the suitcase, and I was like, oh my gosh, we gonna have to go back in there. But then I'm like, you know me, it's no shame in my game. I mean, and she wouldn't let us back in. Of course, she was like, I'll get it. And so she
that experience is very HBO show like, really.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna steal that idea. Yeah, somebody's gonna steal that idea. Like somebody, there's
I was really about to eat. That's crazy. I was really about to eat. I'm so glad. That's the one thing I am glad about because I literally grabbed the plate and grabbed a fork and I was gonna take it with me. And I was like, I'm just so glad I didn't bite into this man's food. And I'm also so glad that I didn't pull, they didn't see me like lifting it up and looking in it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Corey, Out of Bounds Sports Podcast.
What's up, Corey?
Um, yo, listen, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be professional when it comes to this. We have not over 900 viewers, and I can't hold myself together. I don't even care at this point because that was the funniest story, one of the funniest stories that I've even heard. Like, but
Listen, I had a great time. I mean, I think me and Corey had a great time. Like it was a
oh,
really, really good experience. And I think that he said we should have got the picture with the facts. Like
no,
facts.
that's a fact. That's a fact. Why didn't I think of that when y'all
I,
first
was-
told
I
me about this?
the craziest part is I thought about it, but I was like, we're already in the wrong. Like, should we make it too wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I don't know if I'm pushing my luck. I already called this man Kamish, so like I knew him on first name basis. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. A lot of young basketball fans, and I just want to say, I'm not trying to take credit. But that picture I posted of that little girl holding Angel Reese's sign, I'm 100% sure that I'm the reason that she got those shoes. Because once I posted that picture of her, it blew up. The tweet blew up, and I'm pretty sure that they saw it and gave her the shoes. So shout out to that little girl. She was like such a super fan. And I'm just glad that Angel saw her and gave her the shoes because you could tell it just meant so much to her. Like that moment probably changed her life forever.
Listen, and again, this is why we do what we do, right? And I'm sure of course, you just exposed that, saying that you took that picture and it was tweeted and it was it was broadcasted everywhere. So like this is part of it.
Yeah.
Part of keeping our head down and doing the actual work is that exactly what you just described. So like it was dope. Now I was also a part of, I would say, kind of sort of, and I know we're jumping because I know you got some more stories to tell. But on Saturday, what was crazy was I go to the Zoom because normally post game I'm always kind of like in the Zoom trying to um, you know just do a lot of reporting and broadcasting. That's why you got so much news that comes out of us, right? And I'm on the Zoom, they're getting everything set up, and I see this person in front, right? You know, I'm like, them braids look familiar.
Braves
You
was
know what
looking
I'm
crispy.
saying? I mean the scalp was scalping. You hear me?
Crispy
Nothing,
boy.
nothing out of place. Nothing out of place at all. I'm talking about one of the cleanest scalps you could ever see, right? So I'm like, I know that ain't Lolo. I text Lolo. I'm like, Lolo, man, get out the camera, man. Like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So,
Nah, that was hilarious.
so,
Definitely,
so
definitely
Lolo
caught me
was
in
like,
4K.
so Lolo was like, my bad, y'all. I was getting my mic. Relax. Like, I was getting my mic. You know what I
I
mean?
was trying to set up my mic so that when I asked the questions that because me and Corey, what we did was I told him, I said, let's get down, let's head down to the media room in the beginning of the fourth quarter, so that way we're close to the stage, so that we're by Ron Howard, so that he can see us and that he can call
Right.
on us, and that we can ask questions. Well, when I tell you, me and Corey was the first two in there. We were literally the first two people in there. Lolo is the logo. Am I right? I'm crying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That is a
So,
fact.
yeah, they definitely saw me in 4K because I'm looking on the thing. I'm like, how the hell do they got a picture of me? And I'm like, oh, it's from the Zoom. I didn't know the camera was on. But yeah, multiple people apparently saw me and heard me on the Zoom. Because that's actually how I officially met. Uh, who did I meet? Somebody they saw me on the Zoom. I can't remember now, but yeah, so multiple people said something about seeing me on the Zoom. So that's hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said they're not going to invite us back. We're bringing more publicity and storytelling. Yeah, they going to invite us back for sure.
Nah,
We'll be
nah.
at the,
We in there. Nah,
yeah, we gonna be
yeah,
at the
Corey,
final.
Corey. Listen. we in there, and that's respect. Much respect to the WNBA and the PR people behind them. We've developed an incredible rapport with a lot of the representatives there. So shout out to you guys as well if you're watching. We truly appreciate you guys. Our hold on, our guy. Oh, hold on. We'll get to that, Darius. We'll get to that, Darius. What's up, Cam? Um, I wanted to also talk about the skills competition and 3-point contest because one of our favorites, right? And I know you were there on Friday, you know, as a spectator and enjoying yourself because you had every right to enjoy yourself and you deserved that, right? But what was the atmosphere like in person during the skills competition, 3x3, and the 3-point contest?
So like you said, I was going to actually go and do media for the skills competition 3x3 and the 3-point shooting, but again, Cindy Brunson, the great soul that she is, she was like, "Hey, I have a ticket. Why don't you come sit next to me? And you don't have to work. You can just be a fan." And I'm like, "Bet, I would certainly do that," because I also wanted to take it in from that vantage point as well. And again, Phoenix knows how to put on a show. Like, it was packed. Like, it looked sold out. I don't know if the actual skill challenge and stuff was sold out, but it looked sold out. It was kids, it was people from all over. Like, it was people from all over, number one. It was people from all backgrounds and age groups. Like, you had little ones there, you had literally toddlers there, and you had people that were, geriatric, so in their 80s, 70s, the 80s there as well. So it was just a great experience just to see everyone truly enjoying women's basketball. And again, like I said, since I've been watching since I've been 7 years old, I've seen the ins and outs of how the fandom goes. And I was a part of the time where I would talk women's basketball and people would tell me, "Shut up, nobody watches that." So to go from that, like, to people supporting the way that they did was just a wonderful thing to see. It was almost like a full circle moment for me. Like, you have to realize, like, bro, I was a little girl watching this, and now the All-Star games are sold out and people are flying across the country to come see them play. Actually, in fact, a lady I was sitting next to, I wish I knew her name because I told her to follow us. I can't remember because I met so many people. But she flew from DC. Like, and I was like, "Oh, what's the odds of that?" You know what I'm saying? And like, we had ties together. Like, we were literally talking about where she went to high school and stuff like that. So it just was like a really familial atmosphere. I do think from a WNBA standpoint, they can do better in regards of not waiting to the last minute to tell us who's participating in these events. I think that, and we can get into further detail if you want, but I think that I do know that the WNBA extended the invite to Sabrina and Caitlin, and I do know that both of them declined. My issue is directly with them, not with the WNBA, because these women continually say, "We want to push the game forward. This is your opportunity." The entire world wants to see you go head to head.
That's a
Both of
fact.
these women
Yeah.
go head to head. So both of them use the excuse, and I'm gonna say it's an excuse because Caitlin, yes, you've been playing basketball for a year straight. You're already there. You're already playing the All-Star game. One more day ain't gonna make it or break it. Let's keep it a buck, right? One more day is not gonna make it or break it. Sabrina, you say you wanted to focus on Olympics, but you're also you're already at All-Star weekend. You already have other obligations outside of the game. You might as well do it because at some point in time, you have to look within yourself and say, "What am I going to sacrifice to make this league prosper?" Right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you have to put it all out there. And like, I just don't think that they realize the gravity of what that event would have looked like if they were in there. And really, shame on them. I'm sorry. Like, I just have to say it. Like, I think it was a missed opportunity, and not on the WNBA's part, but on their part. And I guarantee you, if the bag was bigger, if the WNBA said, "I'm giving y'all $200,000, $300,000 to participate," guarantee both of them would have been in there. I
Oh
guarantee.
yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear
Yeah.
nothing about no rest. Like, you're come on, like, stop it. Like, you're already
You're
there.
gonna get a whole month anyway.
Right. Exactly. So that I didn't like that. Like, it didn't sit well with me. And it almost made me think like they were scared to do it. And this is no knock to LeBron James, but it's kind of like how he never did the dunk contest, right? And then he waited so long that now you really not going to do it, because if you don't win, everybody's going to be like, well, Jordan won, Kobe won. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to get to that point. Like, go out there. If you lose, you lose, but at least participate. Like, you literally, like it, like this was a golden opportunity. So many eyes on this weekend, and because y'all want rest, y'all don't do it like that. Like, sometimes we just have to like think outside of ourselves just for 1 second. Like, just for 1 second. You think those women back in 1997 that was making $25,000 to $30,000 a year, you think that they wanted to do everything that they had to do to carry this league on their back? Hell no. But they did it so that these women like Sabrina and Caitlin can have jobs right now. Because guess what? If they didn't do it back then, they wouldn't be playing professionally in the WNBA. So sometimes you just have to do stuff that you don't want to do for the greater good of things. And I think that that was a missed opportunity. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I 100% agree because again, we're not just talking about the plight of yourselves. We're talking about the plight of the league. And if you're already deemed one or many faces of the league, like why not be uh, forward thinking and be more of a progressive in trying to continue to amplify the league, whether you like it or not. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just being 100% honest. And I was very disappointed in knowing that they were asked, they were extended an invitation to do it, and they both declined. And yeah, the reasons are the reasons. However, like, again, another day to prepare wouldn't hurt you. Literally, you're taking Caitlin, for example, you're taking a month off. And I know with Sabrina, I know that she has USA obligations, but again, like you're, I mean, you're not going to be playing every day when you're in France. So it's not like it's going to hurt you even more. So um, I get it, right, and I understand it, but that doesn't mean that I have to like it.
Right.
And for those in the comments saying, Darius, I get it. You're gonna protect your girls, but like it's bigger than that.
Right.
Like when it comes, you can say there's always next year, but no, there isn't always next year. We have a year. You don't know what can happen between now and next year. You just don't, because life happens.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make the most of it, even with 3.4 million, 4.4 peaking, watching the All-Star game itself, and the festivities itself being as popular as it was this year. Like, just the question is, why not?
Right.
It ain't the fact that, why do it? The question is, why not do it? Like, you're two of the most noticeable faces that the media has put in that position. It
Hello.
wasn't anyone else. It was the media, right? And to us as fans, first, um, that's very disappointing because guess what? They come to see you, right? You can't in one breath say, "Oh, well, it's the Caitlin Clark effect," but then you're gonna make an excuse to say, "Oh, well, she's tired. Well, a lot of celebrities are tired and they do everything that they need to do to appease to their audience and their fans." So I mean, I just think that from that standpoint, like, participate. And again, they didn't. It is what it is. We move forward. But before we move forward, I want to give Lolo a shout out once again. Because she looking at that
Oh,
mic like,
look, I'm
nigga.
concentrating on that mic, child. I'm concentrating. He told me I couldn't put my mic up there. He was hating. He was hating.
So I was like,
Or he still
yo,
stuck his
you
mic up
know,
there though, so we was Gucci.
that's what's up. But just some more photos from this past weekend. I mean, look how dope this is. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking excellence,
Right.
right? And the beauty of All-Star Weekend, and I know we've talked about All-Star for 40 minutes. We have two more things that's on the agenda. But like I didn't want to allow this time, to go away and you not get your shine. Like you we needed to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like
Yeah.
we really needed to hear it from the horse's mouth because like this was just so dope to see and for you to be a part of. And again, shout out to everybody who were there. Um Shout out to all of the fans that made it out. Shout out to our tribe, the crew. Shout out to Christina, Tarika, B Terrell, Miles, Owen and I. We did a quick talk about the trade. On his platform, but had crazy FOMO doing it because we
Hmm.
knew everybody and their mama, including you, um, Lauren, because we did mention you as well. And yeah, man, they had All-Star, and I don't like that we ain't at All-Star.
Now, when I got back to the hotel one day, I started to watch you and DA's live stream that I missed when I was there, whatever. And when I saw your face, like your energy was like, "Yo, what's up? What's popping? It's a neighborhood night." I was like, "Bro, what?" And then I was cracking up because you was like, "Man, I'm missing out. We missing out." Like,
Yeah, like it was
so I was
like
cracking
that hurt my heart to the fullest. But I
up. They
again,
showed and they were going through it.
oh, listen, they shall know because she was in there. I like my arms were folded the entire time. Like I was mad.
Yeah.
I was incredibly upset.
Nah, but we're all
But
three of us gonna be there next year. All four of us, Corey, because Corey coming back out too. I told him, look, I'm trying to go to the finals, so we gonna see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's honestly just being 100. That's the move. That's the move. For sure. But overall, I am just extremely happy that you were able to experience that for yourself. I was happy that you were able um, to broadcast it, and I was happy that you were able to cover it. So like more power to you. Like I wish I had like some effects where like standing ovation, but like seriously, like standing ovation for you and Corey because y'all did the doggone thing. And let's kind of pivot because there was something that happened prior to All-Star Weekend, which kind of took us all by surprise. And that was a trade that rarely happens
Hmm.
mid-season, which sent Marina Mabrey of the Chicago Sky to the Connecticut Sun for Mo Jefferson, Rachel Banham, and a host of picks 2025 first round pick, a 2026 pick swap, and the Connecticut Sun will receive a 2025 second round pick from the Chicago Sky. So, this is an interesting trade.
Hmm.
So, I want to get your first reaction, your initial reaction to when you found out that Marina Mabrey was headed to Uncansville and Rachel Banham and Mo Jefferson were headed to Chicago.
So initially, I didn't see that the picks were attached. I just saw that for Mo Jefferson and Rachel, and so I'm like, is Chicago mentally well? Like they literally, that was my first thought. I was like, is Chicago mentally well because they literally punted some of their future away when James Wade was there to get Marina. So I'm like, this is what this is what they traded her for. But then when I saw the picks as well, 2025 is going to be a stacked draft, as we all know. So once I really sat down and thought about it, Connecticut got better because they got shooting, and we've been talking about it ad nauseum that they need shooting, right? Now the question is, Marina has not been shooting well. Can she go to a new team and shoot well because she is no longer um unhappy about her position on the team in regards to she was promised that she was going to be the number one option by James Wade. And Teaspoon has now come in and she's clearly not the number one option. Kennedy Carter is 100% the number one option, right? So rumblings that she requested the trade to go to a contender. That's what they said, which is also interesting if you really dive deep into it, because if they don't win this year, it's a lot of free agents on that team that might be up out of there. So are you really going to a championship team? Because if y'all don't win this year,
They
it
might
might
blow
look
it
a
up.
lot different. They might blow it up in Connecticut, right? Because AT can leave, DeWanna Bonner can retire. Other people are free agents as well. So aside from looking at it that way, I think in the immediate, Connecticut won. Not both of them won, but Connecticut got better because they have a shooter. On
Right.
Chicago's side, I think you see them going all in on their youngins, Kennedy and the two rookies with Camilla and Angel Reese. I think that you see that this is the foundation that they're going to build around. And then they were able to get a draft pick, 2 draft picks out of it, and another shooter. They also needed shooting as well. So Rachel can shoot when she gets the opportunities to actually play. So I think that a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're punting away like their season this year," and I'm like, not necessarily. Like,
Right.
I don't personally think so. And I think that both of the teams actually won the trade. To be like, I think it was a good
Right.
trade. Like, once you sit back and look at it, Chicago was able to recover some of what they spent or what they had to give away for Marina. So now they were able to recover some of that, and
Right.
then on top of that, still have that foundation of the skyscrapers there. So they're in a great place. They have a lot of talent on that team. It's just a matter of seeing what people work best together. What was your
Yeah.
initial
Yeah.
thoughts?
My initial thoughts were, and I think I tweeted this out. My initial thoughts were I like where both teams look to fill their voids. And what I mean by that is obviously when you look at Connecticut, Connecticut didn't necessarily need better shooting, they needed better shot creating. And I think they got that in Marina Mabrey. And there's a huge difference between the way that Connecticut plays from a shooting standpoint. A lot of their offense is predicated by their defense. That's no question. However, when you get into the half court and when you have someone like AT pretty much running the offense, sometimes they get a little stagnant and their 3-point shooting isn't necessarily the best in the half court. But when you have someone like a Marina Mabrey who can create off of the dribble, who can create just their shot in particular, whether you're coming off a down screen, staggers, or pin downs, like it doesn't matter where she's getting the ball. She can create a shot, and she is. I know she isn't the most consistent, but in this type of formula, I think that she can become consistent. And I know that there's going to be some questions in regards to kind of like, will Marina start? If she starts, who's coming off the bench? Is it going to be Ty? Because let's just keep it a being. Dejanay is not coming off the bench. Like
Better
to
not.
me, she's proven herself way too much to be an asset as a starter. And I don't want to get into the specifics on who I think should come off the bench. But I really think that the starting lineup is to me, I think they're good where they are. And I think Marina would have to kind of like bite that bullet, in my opinion, and be instant offense off of the bench because of how established they are. And when you look at it from the Chicago side, I think that Chicago can still do some damage if they needed to. But if you're talking about this being a rebuilding year, and if you do finish ninth, if you would say, you could be very, very happy finishing ninth in a rebuilding year because now you're a step closer to being a playoff team. And I think that from the beginning we said that they could range between 7 and 9. Um, and they can be in the playoffs or they can be on the outside looking in. And after this trade, I still think they can figure out a way to sneak in. But it's more of a case where if you are ninth, right, then it's not the end of the world. You just was much better than you thought, and you will get a step better the next year as you get that camaraderie, as you get that um, as you get that rapport together. However, I think that with Mo Jefferson coming back after the All-Star break, I think that we're going to see something completely different from Chicago. And I think that there will be more structure offensively because Mo Jefferson, to me, is a very underrated point guard in this league. Everywhere she's gone, she has done well. She gives me, and I hate comparing comparing the women's league to the men's league, but to be honest with you, her mold is a Rod Strickland mold where everywhere Rod Strickland went, he made the team better the
Yeah.
following year. And Mo Jefferson has that same mold. She does the same thing. She makes players around her better because she is that type of point guard. And to have a shooter like Rachel Banham who can just catch and shoot, and she can at times put the ball on the floor if she gets the opportunity to. But for them to now have a catch and shoot type player, I think that will be a lot better as well. Um, so I think overall, like for both teams, like you said, the trade went well for both. And I don't see anyone having an advantage over one, right? But it's really, really going to be interesting to see coming back after the Olympic break, to see what the camaraderie looks like because I'm pretty sure that even with the break, there'll probably be a week before the start of the a week before the start of the remainder of the season, they'll get their camaraderie together, and I think it'll be a good thing. So we'll
The only
see.
thing is, like, Marina is making $206,000 this year. She's the 11th
hmm
highest paid player in the WNBA. I just don't see her coming off the bench.
I get it. Like I get it, and that's why I said like that's just me, right?
I mean, I
That's
get
not
what
to
you're
say that
saying. Like, you already have
that's not gonna
continuity,
happen.
so why would right? You already have continuity,
Yeah,
so why would you screw that up, right? So I do get that. It's just hard to see that, and I'm
it's
reading the
it's
comments.
very hard.
I see. I also did read that article where they were saying that Dana is probably next to be traded. And people were saying I don't know where Dana would fit. I really don't know either. Everyone expected her to have a like huge jump this year because we saw how she was playing overseas, but she started the year starting, and then her minutes have just continuously dwindled down. So
Yeah. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I feel for Dana. Like I want to give perspective with Dana, and I want people to realize when she was drafted in the second round by I want to say she was 13th or 14th by the Dallas Wings. Vicky Johnson didn't give her the time of day because Vicky Johnson was in she already had her lineups or whatever intact. So when she got traded midseason to Chicago and James Wade ended up getting her, again, she's a rookie. James Wade is already in place. He already has Sloot. He already has a point forward in Candace Parker. So if Sloot needs minutes to spare, Candace Parker was literally the point guard. Let's just keep it a bean in 2021, right? Um, so she wasn't going to see any of those minutes. But in game three, when Chicago blew out Phoenix and Dana came in for those last 2 or 3 minutes, she put on a show. And I
mhm.
think James Wade saw that and gave her the opportunity to do that the following year and the following year, 2022 and 2023. Um, the thing with James Wade is that he left. And we're talking 3 to 4 different head coaches in a span of 4 years,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
Because you're talking about Vicky Johnson in Dallas, you're talking about James Wade in Chicago. James Wade then leaves, and then you have an interim head
term.
coach.
Yeah,
Now you have Teresa Weatherspoon. Like that's literally 4 coaches
yeah,
in
that's a lot.
4 years. You were drafted in 2020, 2021. Like, come on. Seriously. You know, I'm sorry. I'm giving Dana grace because she has yet to find a place where a coach actually trusts and believe in
And
her
believe her. Yeah.
without, just first off, throwing her out to the wolves as a professional and not allowing her to do the things that she is capable of doing, especially with what we've seen this past season overseas. And it really, really, to me, stunted her professional development from a WNBA standpoint, not from a holistic standpoint, because obviously she was killing overseas, but from a WNBA standpoint, I think that it stunted her growth because she's seen four different head coaches in 4 years. Like, that's unfair to her. So I'm giving Dana grace, and I hope that me personally, this is just me personally, I hope that Teaspoon takes this opportunity to hone in to what her lineups need to look like. But I do want to see Dana get that opportunity and continue to build. And if that's not in Chicago, I really, really hope that it's somewhere where she can really, really do her thing. So that's just my spill on it. But of course, we'll move forward to our midseason awards, and this is going to be fun. We're going to take a few minutes to just kind of give our explanation and analysis on who we think is MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, and sixth woman or sixth player. I'm sorry, apologies, sixth player of the year. So I don't think there needs to be any explanation about MVP in the midseason, or keep it at a bean, Defensive Player of the Year as well. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and I'm gonna throw the rock over to Lauren, and she's gonna ISO MVP and Defensive Player of the Year for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like Kate I said, the easiest award that is, the easiest award so far this season is clearly MVP. No, none other than the Asia Wilson. She's currently leading the league in three statistical categories: points, blocks, and rebounds, which has never happened before. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything, so I'm just going to assume that it's never happened before. She's averaging 27.2 points per game, 2.5 assists per game, 11.9 rebounds per game. And when you compare it to her previous year, because we already thought that she was playing amazing last year, and most of us in here thought that she deserved to win MVP. But when you see what she did last year and the fact that she has literally improved in every statistical category, like, that is sick. Like,
That's it.
that is truly sick. Like, like, she's literally shooting 38% from 3-point range. Like, sick. Like, sick. Like, not only am I'm going to get better. Now I'm going to show you that I can consistently shoot the three. And I'm also going to show you that I'm top 5 in steals. Like,
Mm,
if y'all aren't watching this year, Asia Wilson is getting in the passing lanes. Asia Wilson is getting her hands on more, more passes, the ball more. Like, she is everywhere defensively. So I'm going to give a few statistics. Like I said, she's first in points per game, rebounds per game, and blocks per game. She's top 5 in steals per game. She's 8th in field goal percentage, shooting 52% from the field. She's the third player to earn 4+ Player of the Week honors in 3 different seasons, and she's the first player to do it in 3 consecutive seasons, which is crazy. This year, she had a stat line of 35+ points, 12+ rebounds, and 5+ blocks. Only 3 players in WNBA history have had that stat line: Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, and now Asia Wilson. And honestly, like I said, what impresses me the most is the fact that she got even better this year. In the last 6 games, she averaged 6 double doubles and 15 overall double doubles this season. I mean, what more does the world want? Asia Wilson is the best player in the league, and it's not the best. Not okay, excuse me. She's the best player in the world, and it's not even close.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. So I looked up, and shout out to Cerebro Sports. Cerebro Sports is your one-stop shop for all professional, grassroots, and college statistics from an analytics standpoint. And Asia Wilson currently leads the WNBA in CRAM. And what CRAM is basically a culmination average of how you fare against other players of your caliber. It's a comparative analysis to how you play versus how people that you kind of see in, I wouldn't say, I would say your atmosphere. I wouldn't say your stratosphere. But if you were to compare Asia to say like a Stewie or an Afisa Collier, or a Nneka Ogwumike, right? She stands alone at a CRAM of 14.6, which is the gold standard. And she like literally balloons over anybody who's closest to her. The closest person to her is Brianna Stewart at 11. And when it comes to a defensive statistical impact, which means the number of blocks and steals that you have a volume of and accumulate versus how many fouls you commit, she's standing at a whopping 108. The next person behind her is Brianna Stewart at 94.
Oh wow.
So it's no question that the most valuable player in the defensive player of the year midway into the season is none other than Asia Wilson,
And
aka
I
A1.
just wanna add something to that because a lot of people have been saying like Dejanay for defensive player of the year or Ezzy, which I don't mind, right? I think that they are in the conversation. But one thing about Asia, she can also guard, I would say one through five. She's able to switch. But more importantly, if you take Asia out of the game, if you take Asia off of the aces, their defense decreases
Yeah,
drastically. They have
the
zero defense.
defensive rating. Yeah, you're
Like
right,
literally, when
right,
you take her out, it declines drastically. If you take Dejanay out, Connecticut is still a good defensive team. If you
right,
take Ezzy out, the Storm is still a pretty decent defensive team because they have length with Jordan Horston and Nneka, and Skylar is very fiery at the point of attack. So they're still going to be decent. If you take Asia out, oh, they're trash. Like respectfully, like the defense is not great. It's not good. It's not.
right.
I'm not going to say great. It's not good at all. It looks a mess out there when she's not. So I don't know if y'all saw that video on Twitter where they were showing like they were showing like the Aces rookies when when they were first rookies. So they showed like their tunnel fits. So they showed Asia's tunnel fit, and Jackie looked at it and was like, "Oh, tell her I said she look a mess." Like that's what the defense looks a mess. The defense looks like a mess when Asia's not there. So yeah, like so to me, like when you look at the fact that she's leading in rebounds, she's fifth in steals, and she is leading it. She's number one in blocks. And then when you look at it, if I take her off this team, are they still a good defensive team? Hell no. Like so to me,
Absolutely
she's
not.
clearly defensive player of the year.
Yeah, and before we move on to most improved and sixth player, I wanna also add like this whole narrative of like we need to clearly define most valuable player. Like you said it yourself, um, even from a defensive standpoint, like if Asia is off the floor, that defensive rating skyrockets past like 110, right? But when she's on the floor, the defensive rating is at like 94, which ranks like in the top three of the WNBA. Like, and that's literally like proof is in the put proof is in the pudding. And yes, Darius, even with Chelsea Gray in, like when Asia is off the floor, they're not the same. The team is just not the same. You spare her minutes, they're not the same, just from an overall efficiency rating. So when we're talking about most valuable player, that's exactly what the definition is. Like, I don't like when people try to spew out offensive statistics, but then when the moment you question defense, they say, oh, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it does matter. When you're the most valuable player on the team, that means exactly what it says. You're the most valuable player on that team. And when you're off the floor, your value as a team declines tremendously. It does. So I think that um idea, right? We need to have more clear, concise criteria. And that fourth place vote last year is really, really the hype or the motivation that Asia, like, she's making for damn sure no one gives her a fourth place vote this year. She should be a unanimous MVP if she comes back this season and continues on the trajectory that she already has reached. So who else? Like, if Asia is the clear cut, like, if she's the Sha'Carri Richardson, right? She's already past the finish line. Like,
Yeah.
who like
Asia could
who is
average Asia could average less than 10 points for the rest of the season and still
and
MVP.
still be
That's
MVP?
how
Like,
good she's been
that's
playing. Like
yeah,
she has the most points. She's already at like 680, I want to say 687 points for the season already. And we still have what, how many games left?
yeah. I think it's
Like 15, right?
about 15, between 15 and 16, depending on the team.
Yeah, so
But
she still
yeah,
has 16 games. And what, last year I think she hit the 900 mark. She's definitely hitting that again.
oh
100%.
yeah. And she's going to lead the league in scoring, which will be the highest um
Mhm.
average since Diana Taurasi hit 25.
Mhm.
Um, but like, I mean, geez. And Darius, that could be true, but if she stays on the trajectory that she stays on, and it's not unanimous, nah, I need to know who that voter. I need to know who that voter is.
So
Seriously.
what people are saying is not going to be unanimous because of her team's record. That's what people are saying.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Well.
I think it's
Still,
BS, but she's literally
still,
playing so much better than
still,
anyone else. Like
still.
I mean, Stevie can see that. Like she's literally playing better than anyone. It's not close because like when people are like, "Well, who else is in the convo?" Why? It's not a conversation. Like, and that's no disrespect to anybody else. Like I think Fia's playing well. I think Sabrina's playing well, but it's really not a conversation.
Yeah, it
It's
really isn't a conversation.
it's
It
one of
really isn't.
one. It's one of one.
Yeah, like, so but shout out to Asia, man. She's doing it, and she's going to continue to do it. So I really enjoy watching her play. Um, and like, oh, like the smoothest left hand jumper I've ever seen. Like, as a
Yeah.
lefty, as a fellow lefty, oh my God. But moving forward to most improved, this is something that you and I uh have talked about. Well, no, let's not go to most improved yet. Let's do sixth player, because I think that we both have this player as sixth player, because just to be honest, who else will be sixth? Like, who else would be sixth player? Um, but I would again allow you to call out who would our sixth player of the year
Yes.
would be.
So this was extremely difficult because, to be honest, there's not a lot of people that are coming off the bench that are consistently playing well. Initially, I had, of course, Kennedy Carter, but now she's starting. So she has one more game before. If she once she plays one more game, once she starts one more game after the break, she will no longer be eligible for sixth woman of the year or sixth player of the year, whatever you want to call it. I also like Jordan Horston coming off the bench, but now she's also starting. So everyone that I liked is starting. So I just went with Old Faithful. Tiffany Hayes, who unretired and came back to the Aces and has tremendously helped them. She adds more depth, more speed, and ability to get downhill, and just adds something different to that backcourt. She's averaging 8 points, 2.1 assists per game, and shooting 31.6% from long distance and 45% from the field. Last two games, she's shown out. She scored 19 points right before the break, and then right before that, she scored 17 points off the bench. So this is kind of it can change as the season progresses, but as of right now, it's honestly just not that many candidates for sixth player of the year, in my opinion. What do y'all think in the chat?
Yeah. And obviously, I agree, because like we're literally thinking, and we're like, dang, the ones that we called out, like, they're starting, and they may not be eligible.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. Could Marina make a run for it if she is coming off the bench.
I guess it depends on how many starts she had, right?
Yeah, it does, and I think she's ineligible because I mean she
Started
started
every game, right?
every game for Chicago,
Yeah.
because they only have like 15 to 16 games. Like it's not like 2020, but I think that the threshold like for starting, I think is like 15 or 16 games anyway.
Hmm.
Before you become ineligible. Um, so it's I mean, like it's really, really difficult. But if you look at the numbers from Tip Hayes' standpoint, and shout out to Tip Hayes, she thought I was Kendrick in one of those
Oh yeah. She's like,
like
Kendrick,
she
is that you? Kendrick?
yeah, she was like, K Dot, is that you, Kendrick? I would like sometimes I swear I would like Kendrick is a year older than me, right? But
Okay. I was gonna say who.
I swear to you, like he came. I think his first mixtape was like in '09. Like I was in college. We both were K Dot. Like I was K Dot Lou. Like literally, he just became famous. He like it happens. He just became famous. Like, I wouldn't lie to y'all. Like, I got friends that know that who called me K. Lou back in the day. Like, they know I would say, make sure you put the dot in front of the, you
Right.
know, put the dot after the K in front of the L. K. Dot Lou. But anyway,
Yeah.
but
But no, I'm reading the comments real quick. I agree with you guys. Timmy was playing very well off the
yeah,
bench.
she
If she didn't get,
was.
if she didn't get injured, she would have definitely been in the conversation for sure.
Yeah. What about Rachel Banham? Shout out to Darius. Again,
No, like what? There
like
is
we're
no.
talking 0 minute, like it's 0 minutes one game, then it's eight threes off the bench, a WNBA record the next game, and then the
Right. Like
following game, like it's like fifth, like 5 minutes. Like, that's too inconsistent for me. Like,
yeah,
seriously. Um, but I like I said, I think Tip Hayes is a I'm sorry, for lack of better terms, maybe a safe pick
yeah,
because of the consistency.
yeah.
I think Fag Benlay would. I don't know what the injury, how many games you have to miss from an injury standpoint. But I would have liked to see that. But we'll see what happens when she comes back. Because the thumb should be completely healed by the time they
Right.
start back. But this is the one.
Hold
This
on,
is the
let's do
one.
coach of the year.
Coach of the year, and I did forget that earlier. I'm sorry. Coach of the year
We got
to
coach of the year
me,
rookie, and then we'll do
and do
coach of the year rookie, and then we'll do MIP.
yeah, yeah. So, coach of the year, um, I think we both agree that
Hmm.
it's Cheryl Reeves. Um, for that team to be, I think preseason they had them ninth,
Ninth.
and now they're sitting in the top four, and have an incredible record. I know that Fee was out the last 4 or 5 games, just as a for precautionary reasons to prepare for the Olympics. I know that she tweaked her foot. It was it the plantar fascia?
Plantar fasciitis.
So, you know, that's very
Painful.
respectable. But Cheryl has really done well. I think they went 500. Um, if I'm not mistaken, while she was out.
Hmm.
So I think that Cheryl has done an incredible job to say that they were picked ninth in the preseason, to end up finishing midseason in the top four of the league, and they have wins, very impressive wins
Hmm.
against the top two teams that are projected to make the finals this year in the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. Um, so I think that from that standpoint, Cheryl Reeves again, is my pick for Coach of the Year. What do you think?
I agree. I think that I did not personally think that they would have been ninth because when you look at the roster, they just
Right.
had too much talent. But I also didn't expect them to be ranked third for majority of the first half of the season. Like that was completely not what I expected at all, especially when you're bringing in new players like Courtney Williams and Alana Smith as well.
Hmm.
Amongst the rookie and, just different, new players that they just brought in. So when you add that to also Diamond Miller missing a few games, an extended period of
Hmm.
time, and now Fee missing games, and them still having the ability to close out games and win, like this team is nothing to be played with. When they get back healthy after the break, I think we see them continually still play well. And it's a team that you really have to watch out for come playoff time because they can truly defend. Like they are the best scoring. They have the best scoring defense. And they're like top 3 for every statistical category in regards to defense. So,
Right.
you have someone when you have someone that also can get as hot as K Mac can get in regards to shooting. You have Fee who knows how to put the ball in the hole. This team can really go far. And
Hmm.
Cheryl has proven to be a good coach. I mean, look at the dynasty that she built with the Lynx when Maya and Rebecca Brunson and Lindsay Whalen and Simone Augustus and all of them were playing, right? So we already know what she can do. And the fact that she has these women buying in this early into the season, like, and them knowing their role is amazing. And I think that, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. She's definitely coach of the year so far.
Yep. A Bill Laimbeer disciple, come from the Bill Laimbeer tree, which we all know what Bill Laimbeer has done for this league, with the Detroit Shock and the Las Vegas Aces and even the New York Liberty. So shout out to Coach Cheryl Reeves. Again, our pick for Coach of the Year.
Really quickly, Darius, Sandy, please, please, please. Like, yes, y'all have the number 1 record in the league, but Sandy, please. Like the fact that she still has Courtney Vandersloot starting, that is all I need to know. Okay, moving forward.
That's that is hilarious.
Like,
But
please.
Rookie of the Year. Now, a week ago, I know I got on here and I explained why one person at the time should have been Rookie of the Year, but that has since changed,
Mhm.
honestly. And it's probably going to be back and forth, until we really see what the actual votes are. But who is your pick for Rookie of the Year?
My pick has also changed as well. I would say up until last week, my pick was Angel Reese. As of today, my pick is Caitlin Clark. And I think that in the last 2 weeks, Caitlin has just been on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, she has improved her playmaking abilities to a level that we've never seen before, not just from a rookie, but if we're being honest, a level that a lot of the best point guards that have played in this league haven't got. The fact that this young lady had 19 assists in a game and could have gotten more if her teammates quit the ball. Is incredible. Just want to run down some of the things that some of the stats that she has already. So she already owns the franchise single season assist record. She secured her first triple double already, which will not be her last triple double this season. I'm gonna just throw that out there. She's the first rookie to have a triple double in the league's 28 year history. She broke Courtney Vandersloot's single game assist when she had 19. She's ranked third in overall 3-pointers made in the entire league, not just between the rookies, but the entire league. She's ranked first in assists per game with 8.2. Her ability to just pass the ball have lifted the Fever from 11th in assists last year to now they're 6th in assists this year overall. And if she keeps it up at this rate, she will become only the 4th rookie averaging at least 6 assists per game, something that legendary point guards like Sue Bird and Dawn Staley were not able to attain. So that's very major. To me, I think it's no secret that she hasn't shot the ball as well as we are accustomed to seeing her shoot it. And I think that some of that is for another number of reasons. I think sometimes Chrissy doesn't run enough plays for Caitlin to get a clean look as she's going left. But I also think that the defensive schemes sometimes bother Caitlin, and she's playing with grown ass women. Let's just keep it a buck. She's playing with grown ass women with grown ass strength and grown ass speed, and I think that it's still taking her a little bit of time to get to her spots and get comfortable with the game. I know a lot of people want to talk about her turnovers, which I do believe that she needs to protect the ball more. But when you have the ball in your hands that much, it's going to happen. On the flip side, I think as the chemistry continues to improve with the Fever, we'll see the turnovers come down a little bit. You can already see the chemistry with her and AB like skyrocketing now. We saw it in the All-Star game as well. So I think between the chemistry needing to improve and between a lot of her turnovers come from her making risky passes. Like she's very like it's a decision making thing because
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
instead of making
impulse. Yeah.
sometimes instead of making that risky pass, let me just hold it and bring it up court. Let me slow it down and set up the offense. But sometimes she's trying to go for the home run pass, and you can't do that all the time. And I will say there has been a lot of times where her teammates have fumbled the ball too. Now, I'm not like people on social media that blames majority of her turnovers on that because I actually watched the games, and that's not majority of her turnovers. I think majority of her turnovers are from her being risky and trying to get
Yeah.
the home run play. But for me, it's just Caitlin. Like she's just right at this very moment. She's just playing well. She she's playing well. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, she's playing great.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And that's my pick because literally last week when we spoke with Angel McCoughtry, I said that at that particular time it was Angel Reese because of exactly what she was doing, and in addition, her impact, to her team, and definitely not being expected to be in the position that Chicago is currently in, and all of that had to do a lot with Angel Reese being a part of that. Now, Caitlin Clark has done equally the same for the Indiana Fever, and I
Mm-hmm.
think she is finally kind of understanding and getting it. But again, just like you said, those risky passes, that's just impulse. That's something that it's like it's an expectation for her teammates to find those pockets that she's passing it to. And sometimes it's just not on the same page. But we said this even before she got drafted, and we said this while she got drafted, and we said this during preseason, and we said this in the beginning of the season. The thing that everybody loves about Caitlin is her scoring ability. That's the first thing that they want to say, logo threes, and things of that nature. But a lot of people don't understand how well of a playmaker she is. She is a dynamic playmaker, and her passing is going to be the focal point of her success in the WNBA versus the scoring that you obviously saw at Iowa. Like
Mm-hmm.
we said this early. Now, it's not our fault that you didn't listen to us early on. Like that's not our fault. But I guarantee you your butts will listen and watch now because we were right the entire time. And again, what she displayed against the Dallas Wings was remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
19 of the team's 26 total assists. That's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I think that again that she has shown what she can do. She's shown some adjustments. Yeah, again, I mean a lot of the whole turnover conversation is going to be something, and I'm a keep mentioning it at nauseum. Like some of your greatest players are top five in turnovers because they
Mm-hmm.
have the ball in their hands. Again, it's a probability thing. Don't kill me, kill probability and stats. That
Yeah,
is just
it
as
was coming for you.
I mean, it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, yeah, it's going to happen. So you don't have to mention it all the time
Yeah.
because I mean, no matter what, I mean, she's still probably if she continues this consistency, um, it's going to be a tight margin, I think, but she's probably going to be rookie of the year if she keeps this motion. And let's say Angel, even if Angel keeps this motion, but from a record standpoint, Indiana ends up making the playoffs. And I'm just going by the logic that has been said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's say because Indiana's schedule gets much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's schedule does not.
Mm-hmm.
So the probability of the Indiana Fever making the playoffs this year is higher than the probability of Chicago making the playoffs this year. That's just again prob and stats, literally. So if you're looking at it, and they stay on the same trajectory, however, if you see Caitlyn get more wins, I think that's going to be kind of like the tiebreaker that takes that cake from a rookie of the year standpoint. And to me, I don't see, I personally don't see a problem with it. Now, if Angel ends up going crazy, right? I'm not saying that she'll have the double streak, but if she goes crazy from a statistic standpoint and she ends up and her team ends up overcoming the strength of schedule that they have remaining, and they somehow make the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna flip it again.
Let me ask
Honestly.
you this: last 15 games, what if Angel comes back and goes on a 10, another like 10 game double streak?
Now, if she comes back, goes on a 10-game double streak, right? And again, she makes the playoffs, and even if Caitlyn makes the playoffs, right? Now I'm digging deeper into my probability and stats, and now I'm going with the logic that Monica Manette went in that strength of schedule. Like seriously, because if you can tell me you make the playoffs with the schedule that you have, and I think they're going to be in top five toughest schedules,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean the Chicago Sky. If they overcome a top five tough schedule, still make the playoffs. Let's say they end up being eight,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say Indiana ends up being seven, right? Like, you mean to tell me that Angel Reese did what she did, a 10-game double streak, made the playoffs with a top five tough schedule remaining, and Caitlyn just kind of cruised through and made the playoffs and wasn't able to at least get six or five with an easier schedule, then honestly, I'm probably going Angel Reese. I ain't gonna say and lie to you. Because
Yeah.
that now I'm breaking it down. Now I'm looking at it, the analytics. The analytics that people really hate. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm really digging into that part of it because like you can't it's almost like you can't deny it, if that makes sense. Like I but as of right now, this season, to me, Caitlyn is rookie of the year. Like
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is.
And I just want to go out on a limb. I talked to Corey about it at the game, but Caitlin Clark, and you guys heard it here first, will go down as the best passer in WNBA history. Y'all heard it here first.
I don't listen. I do not agree with that because, like, if you've seen Caitlyn from her freshman year at Iowa to now, she's kind of always had the
Mm-hmm.
passing, but like she can read the plays before it even like I
Yep. It's like
it's
two plays before
incredible.
it even about to develop.
Yeah,
And she's
it's
like,
really yeah, and this is me saying that as a former point guard. We're both former point guards. Like
mm-hmm.
that is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So I
And y'all
mean,
and y'all know I got a lot of flack for saying I think that Chelsea Gray at this point in time is the best point guard of all time. And that's me saying that and still even saying that I think Caitlin will be, hold the assist record and be the best passer like
yes,
in WBA history. Like I don't take that lightly by saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how well she passes. I want to go to a few of
yeah.
these comments. People are talking about Caitlin gets frustrated and quits on her team when they are losing or she feels they are going to lose. Her teammates don't get, I don't know that, the ones. Okay. So yes, she has terrible body language. She's not the only one in the league that has terrible body language, and I'm not excusing that at all because it really is piss poor. Like when she took the Gatorade bottle and like chucked it on the floor and like almost hit the girl that was helping them. Like you can't, come on, you don't do that. Like your people, even if you don't want to be a role model, guess what? People are looking, these little kids are looking at you as a role model, just like the little girl that had the sign in the stands. Like Caitlin knows what kind of weight she holds, okay, in the WBB space. You cannot act like a brat. You're 22 years old. put your big girl panties on, and understand it as competition. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. So I don't like that. I do not like the body language, and I also agree they show Alyssa Thomas does the same thing. As the leader of the team, you cannot have piss poor body language. That's just period. Like you can call your teammates out and tell them what they need to do better, but like moping about it, like you're a 7-year-old and you're going to your room for punishment, like I'm good on that. Like I don't want to see it. It looks nasty. Intangibles for both. Super impressed with Caitlin's ability to help the offense adjust as their floor general at this point. Angel Reese not getting enough credit for her leadership, communication on defense. I agree. Angel's the best defender on that team. And when people complain about her offensive struggles, they're like, why is she still on the floor? She's struggling offensively. They can't afford to have her off the floor because she's their best defender. She can defend 1 through 5. Like, I agree. And I also agree that she isn't getting enough credit for her leadership. Did we not see her pull Kennedy to the side and give her a pep talk when she was having a really, really bad game? But she still knew, hey, we need you to finish this game. Like, we can still win this game. We need you to finish it. Like, she's always rooting for her teammates. She's always, like, encouraging them. So, as a rookie, like, she is, to me, the leader of that team.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. But, like, I think we can both, and everybody in the comments can agree that it's Angel and Caitlin, right? And then I do want to give love to Rakia Jackson because she has been hooping these last, couple series of games. Even and has stepped up a lot with Cameron Brink being out. Kurt, your days are numbered, a good man. I'm sorry to talk to you in that manner because I really do appreciate you as a coach. But come on, bro, you should have been playing. You should have had a scheme for Rakia because hands down, she's one of your best offensive players, especially in a one-on-one isolation standpoint. Like, you gotta let her see she's your DeWanna Bonner. She's your DeWanna Bonner.
Yep.
So like you gotta come on, man. I rock with you. I try to rock with you. But you make me look bad for rocking with you because everybody else don't rock with you. So you need to clean that up, man. I'm glad that you did clean it up. Like,
and
but still,
the confusing part to me is like y'all not winning anyway. So you know what I'm saying?
Like just let her cook.
Like y'all weren't winning, so let me get the young kids out here to see what they can do, to see what we can build on next year. Like y'all really weren't winning anyway. So that's been the most confusing part to me. Like,
yeah, like let Rakia cook, let Zaya cook.
Literally.
I know you like that. Right. But yeah, like, man, come on. But we'll now this is something, and I know we only probably have like 10 minutes left, but it's probably gonna go over 10 minutes. I don't care because it's our show. Most improved player. This is interesting. This one to me is interesting. Because we have different players, but we both agree on our players. Yet we have different players.
Yes.
So I am going to, of course, the floor is yours, and let everybody know who your most improved player is.
I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. My player has not changed. It's De'Erica Hamby, and the proof is in the pudding. The numbers don't lie. What did Jay-Z say? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't.
People can say she's played for 10 years. I don't give a shit if she's played for 20 years. If you were better than you were the previous year, you can be in the most improved player conversation. So last season, De'Erica averaged 8.9 points per game. This year, she's averaging 19.4 points per game. Last year, she averaged 5.9 rebounds per game. This year, she's averaging 10 rebounds per game. Last year, she averaged 1.8 assists per game. This year, she's averaging 3.6 assists per game. Last year, she shot 43% from the field. This year, she's shooting 52.3% from the field. Last year, she shot a terrible 22% from three-point range. This year, she's shooting 41.8%. Like, every statistical category, she's damn near doubled. She's not playing on a good team. So I get it. Like, a lot of people don't watch her games. I get it. Like, a lot of people don't like her because of her. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Because of all the stuff that happened with the Aces and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people give her a hard time, but based on these numbers, you can't go from shooting 22% from 3-point range to 41% and not have put work in the lab over the off season. Like you cannot see this much of a jump in your numbers and not truly have put the work in. So I think that she deserves more people need to be talking about her in this conversation because the numbers are there. She's literally improved in every statistical category.
Yeah, so 100% agree with you, right? However, my pick is DJ Carrington.
And I'm not mad at that.
Um, and I don't have all of the statistics for Dejanay in front of me, and I apologize to everyone watching. However, like when you look at the trajectory that Dejanay has gone, like she's literally went from a sixth player of the year candidate last year to starting this year and being a primary defender on your best offensive player and holding those best offensive players to a sub 30% shooting percentage, as well as averaging, close to 13 points per game. And like, I think that from Dejanay's standpoint, you just see the overall growth, especially buying into Stephanie White's system. Unfortunately, we didn't see her play a lot in Kurt Miller's system, but in Stephanie White's system, like you've seen the immense growth that she's had, and she's finishing around the basket 10 times more than she has last year as well. So I 100% agree with you with the Erica Hamby because I I truly enjoy the Erica Hamby's improvement, especially after the what she went through last year with that trade. From a mental standpoint, yeah, she just wasn't in the right headspace. I totally get that, and she
And
has
just had her
come
son
back.
too.
Yeah, and she also had her son.
Mm-hmm.
And again, men, I want you guys to understand this. If you are a father or going to become a father, you need to please understand the plight of the Black woman and give the Black woman grace within her postpartum. It takes up to 2 years for women and Black women in particular to get back into even the right headspace,
Mm-hmm.
um, and to have some type of normalcy. So
It's actually
please,
like a hormonal thing. So your hormones don't
yeah,
regulate. Your hormones don't regulate until 2 years after postpartum.
yeah. So and thank you for correcting me on that, because again, if you understand the I would say the anatomy of women and Black women in particular, you would understand that. So I do respect Dearica Hamby for coming back, and she's still within her. To
The
me, I
two
think she's
years.
still within her 2 years. So she's doing that still. With that. But I again like I it's it's a old man thing for me, right? Like I'm like, man, she's been in the league 9 years. Like,
Mhm.
dang, and she's still like I for some reason I just can't get that out the back of my mind. And it's hurting my judgment because I've literally seen Dejanay improve, from, one aspect to her game to the next, and you just continue, to see that improvement. So we both have different most improved players, but that doesn't mean that both players do not deserve
Mhm.
the love and the accolades, that they've accomplished.
I just want to throw one more thing out there because Dejanay is hellacious on defense. She's
Yeah.
incredible on the defensive end. But I also want to say that we often forget that Dearica plays the 4/5, so she's defending the best
Hmm.
players in the league every night too. In
Yep.
regards to this is a post heavy league. The best players in the league are typically post players. Asia, Stewie, like they're post players, right?
Hmm.
Fee. So she is defending these post players every night too. So I think people don't really look at that aspect of her game either. Because she's
Right.
tasked with defending Asia, she's tasked with defending Fee, she's tasked with, So yeah, I just want to throw that out there too. But I agree. I think I love Dejanay's I love her approach to the game. I love that she's seizing the opportunity and taking advantage of, you know, starting, and she's been doing great. And then when I saw the thing with her and LaChina and just kind of hear a little bit more about her background story,
Yeah.
it made me like her even more. So
Yeah, and so intellectual, man. Like no,
mhm.
shout out to all of my black women out there. You are all intellectual. Like I'm a rave for y'all no matter what.
Mhm,
Um,
period.
but I really like this was fun. This was so much fun. I know we're roughly 39 minutes over. But like we had to take at least 45 minutes to talk about All-Star. Like we just had to. Are we missing anything else? Because I would hate to in not not discuss. I think we took care of everything.
Everything.
And shout out to the comments too. Shout outs to the
All right, I'm gonna
comments.
just read the comments one more time. So get your comments in before we get out of here. They show said the Mercury game, Ka had 10 in the first quarter. DJNA locked in, and Ka only scored 7 points in the rest of the game, which is great because y'all know Ka has been absolutely
Yeah,
hooping.
she's been
And I'm
on
gonna post.
tear.
I interviewed her or asked her a few questions at the pregame, so I'm gonna put that up soon. I just haven't gotten
Bet
around to it.
bet. Oh, let me answer this to Darius because this is a good question.
That is a good question.
Yes,
I agree.
yes, yes.
Sabrina, I'm gonna just say it because when people listen back to it, they're not gonna know. Darius asks, is Sabrina first team all WNBA? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
she is. I mean, it is what it, I mean, she is. I
Yes.
mean, go watch her play. I don't know what you want me to tell you. She's definitely improved since last year. She's first team. Do you see the Mystics making a run in this part in the next part? A run for what?
No, no. Stop it.
And that's the home team. But a run for what? At this point, we're tanking for Paige.
Respectfully.
Like, please,
Yeah.
like, just tank. At this point, like, come on.
We're in a rage for Paige.
Yeah, we're raging for Paige. Like,
We're in a rage for Paige. Yes.
they show said we're talking about the Germany game. You know what? I didn't even watch the whole thing, child, because I had a lot to do. I had to go pick up my
So
son, pick up my dog, all that stuff. So
let me just briefly talk about that because I saw this. I saw
I
the
saw
end of
it.
this the end of the first half, and I saw the entire second half. Even with the camaraderie still trying to build, USA to me still looks light years ahead of the competition, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know who has concerns,
And BG didn't play, did
but
she?
yeah, I don't think BG played,
Yeah,
and honestly, Jackie didn't play until the second half, and when Jackie was in, Jackie was
I
hooping.
saw that no look taste.
So,
Nice.
oh man, that no look off of the left on the left side, she dribbled
Mhm.
to the middle of the paint. Man, that was sick. And Asia, of course, being Asia,
Asia.
doing Asia things. Like, come on now. So, but yeah. The USA, I believe that score, it was almost a 30-point game. I think it was 84-57. Um, they
Yeah, they
just
cracked
made
it
a
open at the
huge
end because
run.
it was a
Yeah,
little bit closer. It was a little bit when I
it
turned, it was
was.
a little bit closer than they
It
just,
was like it was like a 12-point game at
yeah,
halftime. Niara and Satu, and Leone Phoebish, they were killing, and their point guard, like that point guard was doing some. I think her last name is Peterson, if I'm not mistaken. Like she was hooping a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, the USA, Alexis Peterson, that's exactly. She
yeah.
was, yeah, she was doing the doggone thing. I was impressed. But yeah, I think the USA is going to be. I think Team USA is going to be
Yeah, we're just
pretty
too.
pretty decent.
We're just way too good. Really quickly
Yeah.
about the Mystics. I'm not being mean to the Mystics, guys. The Mystics is the home team. I'm not being mean to them. I think that I won't say that they're overperforming because their record doesn't show it that way, but they're in all of these games. Like they are resilient and they compete in every game, and I can respect that, especially after having all these injuries. Like the fact that they are still competing even against the top teams and making it a tough one for them. You got to respect that. Hold on, you said I can't tell.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you
Listen,
something.
from
Like
the beginning of the
we,
season, I've been trying to get paid. So that's literally
yeah,
that's where my mindset is.
listen, Timothy. Listen, we're in a rage for Paige. Like we've been in a rage for Paige ever since EDD said she wasn't playing. Like,
Yes.
it's no need. It is no need to not be in a rage for Paige if
What's the point of
EDD
winning at
isn't
this
even
point,
like.
right?
What's the point of winning? Like, seriously,
Right.
what's the? And then you didn't. To be honest with you, from what I understood, you didn't do right by my girl, Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
And
she wanted to be back.
I confirmed that this weekend.
She wanted to be back. She wanted it, and it didn't happen. And I mean, I know it happens. I get it. I get it. Shout out to B More. I got family. Shout out to
From
my cousins
Baltimore.
Eric
I'm
and
sorry to hear
Chris. You know, but I think that I just think that in this aspect, the Mystics just need to go ahead and just cool in the game, wrap this up, and just call it a season
I mean,
and
yeah, because she's either
enjoy the rest
going
of
to
it.
LA or at this point it's either LA or the Mystics. It just depends on
Yeah,
who's more. And look, if she goes to the Mystics, you already have camaraderie and chemistry with Aaliyah. She's there. Shakira will be healthy. Hopefully, the hip will be healthy by next season. You know, if Slim comes back, that's not a bad team.
that's
Like
not a bad team at all.
they're already competing right now with very limited players. So yeah. But so if they don't get paid,
I respect you,
they
Tim.
don't get paid, they're getting Kiki, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
it too.
I respect you, Timothy. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. Trust me. You know, trust me. Like we all want the Mystics to look good. You know, but now, like I said, man, we gotta be in a rage for Paige, man. And I would love to see Paige in the nation's capital. To be honest with you, you know, being
Apparently, she's
back with
working out there. One of my sources told me she be working out.
oh,
See,
hey, listen. On that note, y'all make sure y'all follow Olivia Pope because she has way less followers than she needs. And listen, don't be weird. Don't be weird. I'm tired. Don't be weird, guys. Please. Um Whatever. But yeah, follow my homie. This is listen, like when I tell you 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 can't get any chemistry better than Lolo, K Dot, and DA. And even when you're talking about our homies in the chat, they shell, you're a real one. And you know what I'm talking about with them stats. You're a real one.
yeah,
And
facts.
Felicia and my homie Cam and my homie
Darius,
Darius, you know,
mm,
like the usual suspects. Listen, we appreciate y'all so much, for
big
sure.
baby,
You know,
and
big
really
baby, oh,
listen
big
before we
baby.
go, y'all, because y'all see my eyes, they barely open. So before we go, really quickly about the 3-on-3. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we win in gold, y'all.
Ugh.
Like to me, it looked
You
rough.
saw them
It
versus
looked
the
rough.
select team.
Yeah, it looked like they were struggling against the under 23. So I was like, ooh,
Yo,
this looking a little
Michaela
rough.
was cooking. Oh my
You said
God,
who? Oh yeah,
Michaela.
yeah,
She was cooking. Oh my,
yeah,
like
yeah.
she was cooking, y'all. Like for real, she was
Thank
cooking.
God for
Like
Ryan Howard, or they would have lost. It was looking rough.
yeah,
It was
Ryan.
looking
Hey,
It
Ryan.
was so
Listen,
bad.
Ryan and
Cindy said, "Well, are the rims tight?" Man, it was bad. Like it was bad. So
yeah,
yeah.
man. You know,
I don't know.
like
Hopefully they tighten it up because I really don't know why Haley's still on the team, respectfully. But
they
should have
going by
ran
that
it back
last
with
3x3.
they should have ran it back with Leash, man. She could
Yeah,
defend too.
yeah. She can defend as well.
Defend, yeah. So, but it
Oh,
is.
Timothy.
I do want to say that part of the event that night, like I was just like, oh, this looks really like me and the lady next to me. So I was like, oh, this look bad. She was like, yeah, I'm going.
Timothy, to answer your question about HBL, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Yeah, nah, we'll just leave it at that.
I think
That
she will do
the
better
reaction.
at PCU though
She will, yeah, she will,
than she did
cause
at LSU.
she'll do her thing, like she did at Louisville. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
they
I
won't win
think,
anything, but yeah,
yeah, you know, she'll do her thing. You know, but listen, I'm listen, this has been a great show. We've been on for almost 2 hours, but it was
And y'all rock.
necessary. This one was necessary, and I want to thank my
How many total
illustrious
people in here,
host.
K-Dot?
Oh, total 1561. Um,
Y'all
we
rocked
peaked
with us
at
for a whole
15
2 hours.
for a whole 2 hours. We appreciate y'all. And yes, to be continued. We'll have more. Check out everything that we have going on. Reimagining the dynasty. That's going to be it. The mid range mafia. That's going to be lit. The WNBA comparison list. That's going to be lit. Like we got a
We
whole
finally
bunch of
dropped that.
content.
We got a
Yeah,
lot of content coming out during
got a
this Olympic
lot
break.
going on. Got a lot of special guests, so look out for that. Like y'all rock with us. And for y'all rocking with us, make sure y'all hit us up. Contact us, be a part of the conversation. Hit us up on Twitter at the 9450, on YouTube at the 9450, on Instagram at the 9450 underscore. Patreon, hit us up, patreon.com/KI 9450, and that stands for keeping it 9450. So hit us up on the Patreon. Make sure y'all be a patron. Hit us up on TikTok at the 9450 underscore. Listen, we got a whole bunch of good stuff going, and we got lots more to get you guys. Yeah, definitely, Felicia, more Patreon content. Lolo got some
I think we're gonna
Patreon
start
content.
dropping some. I think we're gonna start dropping most of the interviews on Patreon.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
but yeah, I actually got a story to tell on Patreon too. I just got to find time to record it. Y'all know I just got back. I got back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, I
Hey,
think Darius asked. My flight kept getting pushed back, pushed back. It was a mess yesterday. I didn't get into the house until 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to be up by 7. So I
listen,
haven't really slept. So, but I'm gonna get on that. Hopefully I can do it tomorrow. The Patreon stuff. Because I
listen.
want to tell y'all a story. I ain't saying no names though.
We gave y'all a free story with that Adam Silver story tonight. We gave y'all a free story. Technically that should have been the Patreon story. However, but to all our patrons, we really, nah, yes, there will be.
Yeah, it will be
Yes.
one. The
Yes.
story that I
Yes.
have is I ain't saying no names type of story.
Yes, yes. So anybody who already is subscribed to our Patreon, we love y'all. Anybody who wants to be subscribed to that Patreon, y'all make sure y'all do that because we ain't saying no names publicly, baby. So listen, we appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give Lolo the rest that she deservingly needs. And again, always, always, as we say, love is love. Peace.